Here are my 10 tips how to get better at Dirt Rally 2. We're going to do a historic rally, a classic rally with a Mini Cooper because it's the easiest car to drive. The first thing, you shouldn't expect Dirt Rally to be the kind of arcade game because it's a full-on simulator, so it's a racing simulator for rally enthusiasts, so the physics are very, very realistic compared to these arcade games like Forza Horizon or Need for Speed. Okay, so the second tip, obviously, choose wisely, don't go for the quick cars. Because the fast cars are obviously a lot harder to handle, and you'll really have a hard time finishing those rallies and progressing through the game. So if you choose a front-wheel drive vehicle at the beginning with less power, you'll have a easier time overall, I think, and a better experience, and you can just build up from that. Tip number 3, you need to drive slower than you would normally do because you don't know the track. So it makes it a lot easier just to drive slower. Even I know it's a race and everything, but you'll be faster by not crashing and driving slower than pushing the car to its limits and ending up in the tree. Tip number 4, listen to the co-driver, because you don't know what's coming, especially if you're new to the game. And the co-driver obviously calls out the corners, so just learn to listen. I know it's really hard at the beginning. If you usually play arcade games and free world games and that kind of stuff, it's a lot harder. But if you listen to the co-driver, it will improve your times massively. Tip number 5, try to anticipate what the car is going to do. I think it's really important that you expect the vehicle to behave like in the real world, and obviously if you don't know the track, you don't know the car, you're driving too fast, you're going to crash. Tip number 6, understand your environment. If there's a very rocky terrain, like mountain terrain, and there's cliffs, there's a very high chance that you'll fall off one. So being a bit more cautious about the edges and the sharp corners will save you from crashing overall. Because it's a rally, usually the surfaces will be gravel or mud, and practicing weight transfer is really, really important. So using the handbrake and preloading the vehicle before a turn, especially with four-wheel drive vehicles, you'll see that when you turn, the steering wheel is actually straight. So that will help you big time getting quicker through the checkpoints and through the stages overall. Tip number 8, learn to feather the throttle. You don't always have to be 100% with the throttle. You need to feather it through the corners. It helps also with the weight transfer and pulling the car out of the corner. Tip number 9, be aware of traps, especially around checkpoints and the finish line. I've had quite a few occasions where I crashed near checkpoints and even the finish line, and it makes it very frustrating, especially if you had a really good run. and you crash, obviously you mess up the whole thing, so you have to restart. So yeah, just be aware of that. And the last tip, use your credits from your winning results to invest in your crew, your team. It's really important. They get better at fixing certain things, and getting additional engineers also helps with repair time, especially if you crash a lot and there's like 9 stages or 6 stages, whatever you're doing. You'll have a really hard time if your crew is inexperienced.